It felt like 2 weeks. Well, what was originally 2 weeks felt like about 2 good months. I did go on a 2 month hiatus a few years ago, but these 2 weeks actually did feel like 2 months in the case of like hiatus terms. And I could say it's literally because of school. Like my 2 month hiatus I took back in 2024 was because of school. This is also the case, but you know, that was mainly because of midterms. But midterms are like over, and I finished my last midterm as of yesterday, so I can officially come back. So I'm officially back after what felt like literally forever. And I thought it'd be safe to do that. And I meant no gaming at all this week because I wanna like test out the constraints for now. So like we have to test the waters. Let's see. Yeah, things are. No, it did feel like 2 months. I mean, I mean, again, I did go on a 2 month hiatus before, but that was like a really long time ago, though. So, and I spent those entire 2 months like prepping up for Twitch streams because my 2 month hiatus was like, you know, my official exit from streaming on YouTube, and and then, you know, I was just getting everything ready within that 2 month span just to get everything ready for Twitch. So in the end, it kind of worked out, but not for the debut. It did work out in a way, though. Man, I do miss using this model, actually. I mean, it's recent, so like I really did miss using it, even though I had to like keep it on a pause for like a bit of a while. Like I only got to use it once, just for like a recent video that I made, but I already have like 2 extra videos planned, so I'm gonna actually use VIXIE Studio a lot more real soon. So, but yeah, for those who literally don't know, or like they just forgot about my existence, yeah, I've been gone for like 2 solid weeks because of college midterms, and as of yesterday I finished them all, and midterms can be a bit hectic to the point that it can take up most of my nights, and because of that I was like literally unable to stream for like the past 2 whole weeks because of this. But I will say, I mean, I'm gonna have to take another midterms hiatus sometime in like the beginning of May. I want to assume somewhere around the beginning of May. And then I don't expect myself to go on another hiatus for a bit of a while, depending. But yeah, as far as I know, I don't really have any hiatuses like possibly like planned, maybe. Yeah, I think it's gonna be straight there from here on out. I think the next hiatus will be like the next midterm, so in about 2 to 3 months, maybe. Okay. But, you know, as the stream title entails, I went through like an insane amount of offline ventures within the past 2 weeks, and I think I mentioned in the like last stream I had that I would talk about it all. Like, I talk about it all over here from the beginning of the hiatus up to now. So the last time I streamed was on like the second to last Saturday of January. So January 24th was the last time I streamed, and that one was like a surprise stream because I planned this last minute with Kevin, so we decided to do like a little collab together. So that was the last time we streamed, and like basically all the offline ventures for the hiatus like started off from there. So I think I can just go day by day. So Sunday the 25th, nothing really happened on Sunday. That Sunday, like, yeah, not as far as I can remember, nothing really happened that day. Well, I will say that the actual final week of January, it was kind of insanely cold, like with like a low weather drop, and it was just like a bit of an aftermath of what was basically sub-zero in the Midwest. So it was insanely cold. So nothing happened that Sunday. Monday, what happened Monday? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, that happened Monday. I think so. Did that happen Monday? Yeah, I did. Okay, yeah. Oh, fucking right. Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I do have an offline venture story, and you know, it's regarding like, you know, my college anime club, and it's kind of like a not a long story, kind of a long story, but like I can try to keep it as short as possible. Okay, so to put it in simple terms, like we were just having a rough time, like for the past few days alone, just trying to, like, you know, have meetings set up, and we had everything set, like everything was planned, everything was sorted out, we had everything under control, like we had everything ready for like our next few meetings, until the school called and said, "Oh, hey, we're sorry, but we can't have you book this room to have the meeting for whatever reason." And then we're like, "Okay, then the best we can do is just like maybe have the meeting be like online." So we had the meeting online, but it ran short for various reasons, and it was, you know, technically in a way successful. So then we decided to like carry on and continue to get things ready for the next meeting, which we did. We had everything set in stone for the next meeting. Like the activities were planned, everything was planned, until we get notified again, like, "Oh, hey, we got another message from the school saying, oh, hey, we're sorry, but we can't have you book this room again." And then we're like, "Okay, why? What the heck? You're telling us this info a bit too late. Like, what the heck is wrong with you?" Like, we blame the school, honestly, with this whole thing. So unfortunately, because of that, we had no choice but to cancel the meeting for last Monday, which was actually unfortunate. And like, honestly, in most cases, we have to blame the school, because, you know, the school's obviously in charge of everything with our club meets, and we always have to reach out to the school whenever we want to reserve that room for an official club meeting. And we did reserve the room, but the school rejected it for whatever reason. So we had to get ourselves re-registered as a whole club as a whole. Which, and recently we were re-registered. It was approved, so we're fine. But yeah, that was like the last problem we went through, and then we carried on with that. We pressed on with that. We got things ready, activities ready for the next meeting, which was yesterday, and that one was successful. The school didn't come up to our asses. We were approved again as a club. Everything was okay. All was well. So yeah, that's the story. It was a crazy and weird and concerning and, you know, stressful offline venture, but, you know, it's been resolved. So now I can talk about Tuesday, January 27th, I think. Yeah, the 27th. As far as I know, I don't remember anything that really happened on the 27th. So skipping that. Nothing really on the 28th as well. Or the 29th. Or the 30th. Maybe. Oh, actually, well, I could say, like, maybe just the fact that, like, I don't know, like, I mean, Fridays are when I really have dance practice. I was kind of insanely tired. And then, the 31st, which was a Saturday, I mentioned it in my last stream that, like, we were originally supposed to have a round one venture, the day we were supposed to have our stream, but that got postponed to the next week, because, you know, we were talking about it a lot in the last stream, but, like, sometime in January, like, not just, like, the state of Illinois, but, like, a lot of states in the Midwest went through this, like, really bad weather drop, like, way down below way down below zero, to the point that, like, you know, lots of places were closed, schools were closed, like, literally, it was like an actual snow day in our areas. like in my area due to this. So like everything was pushed due to the weather and stuff like that. We also heard that, like, you know, when a local convention that was happening that same weekend, like a good half of our friends like dipped due to the weather, which was explainable. So we did have the round one like outing pushed to the week after the weather drop, and it happened. So January 31st was when we officially went. It was a whole other like insane offline venture. Like I could say like, well, I can basically confirm that like I spent all like the $100 I had like in gambling money. So like I spent all my gambling money on like a Kuromi from a crane machine, and so she's like just standing like near my somewhere near my lamp. She's like sitting right there next to my desk lamp. So yeah, all that money went down the drain on that little like on my little Kuromi plush. But like, you know. It was hard, but I just somehow got it. I call it a little sheer luck. And well, yeah, you know, half of that time we were just like, you know, doing arcades, talking with friends, and then the other half, like all of our friends go together in a little karaoke room, and we're all just singing our hearts out in like karaoke, and it was honestly kind of fun. We made an insane amount of memories, and you know, it was a fun day, but I didn't like the fact that I ended up flat out broke. All from one Kuromi. But you know, that's typical arcade games. You're expected to like spend like an insane amount of money to the point that your wallet's already gone dry. So, you know, I kind of did expected it, but you know, at least I ordered my food before we even went. Otherwise I would have been flat out hungry the entire day till I got home. And now I'm done talking about January. Now it's February. February 1st. Nothing really happened, I think, on February 1st. February 2nd, it was a Monday. Nothing really. Typical Groundhog Day. My local groundhog didn't see a shadow, which explains why the weather in my area is like decently like warm weather. So spring's kind of already getting upon us. Nothing on the 3rd of February. I think. Maybe not. Just midterms. Like, this is all during midterms. Nothing in the 4th. No. Or the 5th. Well, one of my midterms I had, it was due on the 3rd, I think. It was due on the 3rd, or it was due on the... Yeah, it was due on the 3rd. And then the 4th, nothing. And then the 5th, nothing. The 6th was dance practice. Yeah, I had dance practice for like 3 straight hours, and it was kind of exhausting and stuff like that. I had to dance for like 4 different songs within those 3.5 hours, and I was just tired. So yeah, that was Friday, and then Saturday, February 7th, nothing really happened on like just this Saturday. Like, I'm just like spending my time in my room, like doing homework, watching videos, watching anime. I think I was playing a few video games, doing my laundry, stuff like that. And then like now we have February 8th, and like just this Sunday, which was Super Bowl Sunday, as many of you guys know. Okay, well, before I mention Super Bowl Sunday, I could say last Monday was when I recorded my recent video. So I have a new video that I recently like uploaded over the weekend. I procrastinated on the video, which is why it came out like a few days later. Like, I recorded it on Monday night, but it didn't come out till Saturday night because I procrastinated on it. Like, what? It wasn't even because of midterms. I deadass procrastinated on it when I had free time, which is odd. I never really procrastinate on my own videos. Okay, I kind of do. I mean, I have a whole list of VIXIE vocal songs that I wanted to sing, and it's been like that for like at least a few months now, and I kind of have to like really go by through that list. So in a way, I think I've been procrastinating for like a bit of a while now when it comes to my videos. Okay, but yeah, got dealt with that out of the way. But yeah, my recent video, it's called Pretty Cure versus The Incredibles, and it's basically like a summary where I'm just making a theory that like this one tune from the recent Pretty Cure series in the transformation sequence, it has a tune from the credits music from The Incredibles. I think it's called the In Credits Bowls. I don't know. I saw that they had a name. I can't remember it, but yeah. The video is just like a little theory video that I made, like where like the transformation sequence for the recent Pretty Cure show has a tune that's strikingly similar to the credits tune from The Incredibles. Like there's a lot of tunes from the. If you like watch the Incredibles like in the credits scene, you'll like hear this one like action pace like kind of credits music, and over there like everyone knows it, like everyone remembers the credits of The Incredibles, like because it's an iconic like credits scene. It's like one of the, I think in my case, I think that's like one of the most I think it's like my top favorite like credit sequence when it comes to movies, with my second favorite being Ratatouille. I don't really talk about that. Like, I don't really talk about my favorite credits sequence, but like, I mean, I should. I'm surprised I never did in my life. I'm a film major at college, but I never talk about this. Da 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 da. Yeah, literally like da 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 da. Yeah, it has that tune. It literally has that tune. Yeah, that's why I made that like theory video, because like when I first watched that episode, I'm like, I recognized it right away that was from The Incredibles, because like again, it's an iconic song. It's a song from an iconic credits scene, so you think I wouldn't remember that? So when I heard that the first time, I'm like, what the fuck? Why does it seem like I'm watching The Incredibles? And then Kevin reminds me about it because he sends me a video on Instagram of the transformation sequence, because he saw it on Instagram like the day after I watched the first episode, because I watched the first episode the day it premiered, and then he sent me a video of the transformation sequence the next day, and I'm like, did you? Oh, by the way, did you notice that there's a tune that sounds like The Incredibles from it? So he had to rewatch the video to take a listen, and he's like, oh, I hear it now. So then I was like, what if I made a whole video out of this? So soon after that conversation, I recorded. Like I instantly went to the studio and started recording, and I didn't even start editing the video until Saturday night. For whatever reason, I don't know why. I could have edited it on Friday. Like, trust me, I could have actually worked on it on Friday during like my break when I was doing dance practice. Like, I don't know why I didn't. I actually don't know why I did it. Probably because I was doing another assignment. Like, I was probably doing an assignment. There are some cases, like, during my breaks, like, my dance breaks, I'm, like, just doing homework. I'm, like, I'm doing one of two things. I'm either eating or I'm just doing homework. But, yeah. Like, this Friday, though, I was just eating. Yeah, I was eating. Yeah, I was eating. Yeah. I remember, yeah, I was eating. I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't editing videos. I was just eating. Like, I was just, like, eating my my snack while I was waiting for Kevin to get out of dance practice. So, anyways, yeah, that's the whole video concept. And then, I do have two videos. They're both VIXIE Vocals videos that I'm planning on recording this Friday. I plan to record them this Friday, and hopefully they actually come out this very weekend as well. Like, I want to have them come out this weekend, like on Friday and Sunday. The reason why I left Saturday out is because it's Valentine's Day, and I don't really see myself editing on Saturday. I'm gonna stream this Saturday. for Valentine's Day, but I won't really have enough time to edit videos because I'm gonna be like basically, well, I won't be home. Like, I won't be home. I'm gonna be busy, and then by the time I get back home, I'm gonna like hit the stream button. So I'm gonna try to like record my VIXIE vocals videos by Friday, and then the first one will come out on Friday, and I leave Saturday out because it's a holiday, and then I have the next one come out on Sunday. I kind of, well, if you follow me on Instagram and you actually did pay attention to my stories, I technically did hint the actual next song. So this time, for the first time in a while, it's actually an anime opening. So I haven't really done anime openings in a bit of a while, honestly. The last ones I did recently were like just general songs. Like, I think the last one I did was a Le Sserafim song. So like, yeah, this one's gonna be an anime opening, and then the one after that, it's not an anime opening. So yeah, one's an anime opening, one's a general song, like one's a general J-pop song. Okay, but yeah, and that's just plans for that. And now I have to talk about the last thing that one of the last few things that happened during my offline ventures, and that is the Super Bowl, which happened just 2 days ago. So yeah, I don't know if you know this, Ventures, but every year, for my family at least, the Pixie fam gathers around together for Super Bowl Sunday. They all come to my house. They come to my house to watch the Super Bowl. So Mama Pixie had to cook. Normally I help her out, but in this case, I had a sudden random headache right before the game started. So I spent like about a couple hours, like, well, before the game, by 3 I was napping because of my headache. Like, I took a nap when I was technically supposed to help Mama Pixie. So I took a nap, and then I woke up. It was like 5:05, and I'm like, wait a minute, the game typically starts at 5. Doesn't that mean the game technically started right now? So I quickly grab my iPad, go back to bed, and then just play the game from there. And then the first thing I see is Green Day. So like, technically I didn't really miss anything from the game. Well, I think I missed like maybe half of Green Day's performance. I think. I'm not too sure, but that's what I came to. So like dead ass. Like, I turn it on. I turn on the channel, and like the first, I legit come in to him like about to perform American Idiot. That was like he was about to perform it just when I hit the channel. And then I just slept. I took a nap throughout it, so like I kind of snoozed a bit through the performance for a valid reason, because I had a headache. I kind of needed to rest a bit while having the game open. And hold up. Okay, and then the game started. That's when people were technically like coming over to my house to watch the game. Like, they legit came in the moment. Like, I think sometime after the national anthem was sung, and it was sung by Charlie Puth. I'm like, oh my god, hold up. Look, I don't listen to Charlie Puth, but I listen like only one song by Charlie Puth, and it's like, the song's like almost a decade old. Like, if you guys know the song The Way I Am by Charlie Puth, that's like the only song I listen to from the guy. So like, he's like one of the first few people that I actually recognize who sings the national anthem at like a big ass game. So like, wait, what? I'm like, hold up, Charlie Puth is the one singing it? And I'm like, wait a minute, I listened to one of his songs before. Like, I don't listen to it as much anymore, but like I know the song. Like I think it goes like, I'ma tell them all that you could either hate me or love me, but that's just the way I am. Honestly, I thank Disney that I even know that song. So then like, and then I'm watching this, I'm watching the game, honestly, like I was watching the game like in a server, in a Discord server, and they were doing like a watch along of the game. Like, well, I had the game already playing on my end, but I wanted to see their reactions, and I agreed with them when we were like, wait a minute. Cause there was something that like that like caught our eye when we were watching it. So like Cooper Kupp. If you guys don't know Cooper Kupp, he's a receiver for the Seahawks. He caught our eye for like a good majority of the game because in the game he looked strikingly similar to Jake Paul. So like when we were watching the game, I'm like in my head, I'm like, wait, is that Jake Paul? I'm like, no, it's Cooper Kupp. Bro hasn't been relevant since 2018 though. You're right, yeah, no, Charlie Puth actually hasn't been relevant since 2018. Like literally the only song that I listened to from him is a 2018 song. So like it was like the last time I heard from him. Oh wait, wasn't Beautiful? Wait, he performed Beautiful, right? He's the artist behind the song Beautiful, right? That's him? That wasn't him? No, it wasn't. It looked like Jake Paul. It's not him. It's Cooper Kupp. He's the receiver. Trust me, bro. Like, if you looked at him in the game, I think there are people online who said that, like, he looked like Jake Paul. Like, even I agree. Everyone was saying he looked strikingly similar to Jake Paul. He did look like Jake Paul, bro. Like, no way. Jake Paul and the Seahawks? No wonder they won. But yeah, I was rooting for the Seahawks. Oh, so he did sing Beautiful? Isn't that one song with Camila Cabello? Or whatever. Was it that one? It was by her and Charlie Puth, right? Oh, okay. I swear to God, I'm so like chronically online and like stuck up to the internet that whenever I say Charlie Puth, I'm like trying to like refrain from saying Charlie Kirk. I'm sorry. Cause like Charlie Puth isn't relevant anymore. So Charlie Puth isn't even relevant anymore that I just don't say it. So like whenever it comes to Charlie, like in this day and age, whenever someone's talking about a Charlie, in those cases they're talking about Charlie Kirk. So whenever I'm saying Charlie Puth, I'm like, don't say Kirk, say Puth instead. I'm like, I'm sorry, he's just not relevant anymore. Like Charlie Kirk is the relevant Charlie in this day and age. Back in 2018, it was Puth. Okay, but yeah, that was like my first time seeing Charlie Puth in this decade though, because I haven't really seen Charlie Puth or like heard from him after 2020 or like 2019 or some sort. So like, you know, I'm like watching the game in my bed. I'm listening to a few of the game in my bed. Like half of the game, half of the first half, I was just like snoozing, which was valid because I was having a headache and I kind of needed it. So I decided like just to keep snoozing off, and then it was time for dinner. So Mama Pixie calls me down saying it just to at least eat a bit. But I was actually having struggles with eating my dinner because like it wasn't really like anything like loss of appetite, but like my headache made me like unable to even like eat a big portion. I took a few bites off my ribs. Like we had ribs. because we had a barbecue. We ordered barbecue for the Super Bowl. So I had ribs, and because I love my rib. I love the ribs from where we got them. And I was having, I was struggling with trying to even take a bite out of it because I was so focused on my headache that I didn't even feel like eating like an insane amount. And luckily for us, we actually had our dinner, like, I think a bit just before the halftime performance. So when I was done eating, I went back to my room, tried to rest it off a bit more, unaware that the halftime was about to start real soon. And I'm like, honestly, considering it's the halftime performance, maybe I should at least just go downstairs with the family to at least watch it with them, so it won't feel like I don't care about the halftime to the point that like I'd be the only one in the house not watching it, even though I was technically watching the game from my room. So I went downstairs and went to a place where I could just like easily like sit down to a point where my head stays perfect, like in a perfect position, so it wouldn't hurt as much. But I did take medicine. So like everyone was watching the Super Bowl in the basement, so I went all the way from my room to the basement to watch the halftime. And I came downstairs by the time the second quarter was actually over, so I was just there for 5 minutes. Well, yeah, doing whatever, watching stuff before the performance, and like that's what we were all doing. We were all just yapping, and then by the time the performance started, like practically we were all quiet and stuff like that. And that's when everyone was, that's when everyone who actually at least cared, pulled out their cameras the moment Bad Bunny stepped in. So yeah. Like, I mean, like, I will say, okay, so like opinions about the halftime, because I did say I'd bring it up. It was okay. Like, I had actual no problems with the entire thing. Like, I don't think there was anything from the performance that I hated, and honestly, I don't think there was anything from the performance that I hated. Obviously, I didn't understand almost a single word that he was saying, because, I don't speak Spanish, I don't know much Spanish, even though Kevin's trying to teach me to the best way possible. So, and obviously, I cannot like say that I hate that. That's normal. I mean, like, a good amount of people of the audience actually didn't even understand it, but they still enjoyed it. So for me, I wouldn't say there were any negatives from like, when I was watching it. It seemed kind of fair. He did actually kind of good. I liked all the backup dancers. The surprise with them, Ricky Martin, Lady Gaga, a few of my family members, and Mama Pixie. We noticed Cardi B like making a cameo in the performance. Like, she was there, and like, hold up, what? She was there? Like, I had to take a second look. Yeah, she was there. It was just a slight cameo though. And then like, we kind of, and then like right before I don't know, what was I thinking about? I don't know. And then they brought up Gasolina, and then like my sister, who was like, she doesn't really like typically like listen to the song, but she at least knows the song because of the internet. She like instantly like looked up, and she's like, hold up, wait a minute. And then we were all like, we were kind of like a bit like surprised when we saw like, Lady Gaga, and she was performing her version of Die With A Smile, and I'm like, that explains why there was this moment in the Grammys last week where she was just talking to Bad Bunny, and then like he acted like he passed out when she kind of jump scared him, and we're like, what if she was talking to him about the performance? And then Ricky Martin also made an appearance, and I'm like, who's that? Because I think most ventures know I'm like kind of I'm a typical opposite when it comes to music. I'm from the West, but I listen to more Eastern. Like, that's how it is for me. But Lady Gaga, I at least knew because, you know, she's someone who I was aware of, like, when I was still at least listening to, like, a bit more Western. But, like, half of the room knew who Ricky Martin was. Like, I was among the half who didn't even know his existence. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll listen to that part. And then, you know, we saw the bushes. I'm like, oh man, those bushes are actually really, they did it really good. And then, you know, we all were adored when, you know, when you know, he gave technically the kid portraying his younger self his little Grammy that he got last week, and we were like, that was actually one of the most adorable things that we could ever see possible. And we're like, we were actually adored when he did that. And like, there were a few times where like at least one of my family members were like actually singing along because she somehow knew like a bit of, like, remembered like a bit of the lyrics. And then now we should talk about, you know, the very end. We should talk about the very end. But I will warn you guys. I will warn you, Venturers. I'm not gonna like really. I'm gonna be limited. I'm gonna talk a bit limitedly about that part because of politics and stuff like that. Because this last part kind of like relates to politics, so I'm not really gonna speak much about it or like point fingers and stuff like that for obvious reasons. So like the final part, you know, of like the entire performance, where, you know, where we have people come out with flags of all the countries in both North and South America, and then, you know, Bad Bunny's just like, you know, calling out all the countries in both continents, and then, you know, he in the end he gives a shout out to Puerto Rico, his hometown, like, you know, his home place, and then, you know, he ends it with DTMF, and half of the room was singing along with that. I think that was everyone's favorite part when we were watching it, like, you know, when he was representing, like, you know, all the countries in the, like, all the countries in these two continents, because technically he was trying to portray a message. Like, he was trying to portray a message given the current state of what this country is going through. And like I said earlier, I'm not really gonna like point out the, you know, obvious facts, but like, if you know, you know. But I'm not really gonna talk about it much. But I was talking to Mama Pixie about it, and you know, she said, you know, that's a big slap of reality, because we all knew, I think we all knew that he was going to do something as like a shout out to like in your face democracy. Like, we all knew that, like, given that it's Bad Bunny, we kind of knew that we all knew that he was gonna at least pull something that shall like in your face democracy. But we all know he's humble, and like, that's obviously not the intention, but we knew he was at least gonna like reference like the economy and be like, fuck the economy. I mean, in a way, Kendrick Lamar did do that with his halftime performance last year as well, because obviously his halftime performance was also supposed to be a message, and he kind of intended that in the beginning of his performance when he said the revolution is about to be televised. He picked the right game but the wrong guy, which was also a reference, technically. But you know, just yesterday I was talking to one of my closest friends, and I was saying, okay, at this point, the next two halftime performances are gonna also be like a reminder of like our economy, and be like in your face economy. Like I'm saying that like the next two halftime performances, like for 2027 and 2028, they're gonna use like a certain artist as a headliner who, you know, and they'll typically they'll in a way they'll try to reference like in your face economy in their performance. Like, obviously Bad Bunny did it, which would make sense given everything. And then Kendrick's was, well, I would say it was he kind of did it at the right time, because, you know, it was kind of obvious that he was even going to, like, you know, headline the Super Bowl prior to politics changes, because you know, he was chosen to headline the halftime prior to politic changes, so we kind of knew what was set in stone for him. And then, you know, and then he had his performance just a couple weeks after the whole change in politics. So I'm saying, like, he chose the right time. I think he already had the intention, especially since how we all knew that politics was going to be changing real soon around the time they announced him as the headliner. And then we had Bad Bunny, who was announced back in November. And then we're like, oh, we know what's going to happen. And we were right. It happened. And he did it in the most kindest way possible. Like, you know, like, not just reference, like, not just, like, you know, calling out, you know, all the, like, you know, all the Latin countries, but, you know, basically every single American country, you know, he had to call them out loud, because, you know, everyone's American. And then he had to give a regular shout out to Puerto Rico, which was, you know, he had to pay a homage. So I'm like, yeah, that was a good performance. I did like it. There was honestly nothing that I hated. Obviously, I didn't understand a single word in the head and, like, the performance, and that's okay. I didn't really mind that. Like, I don't really have to care normally, because, like, it's because, like, there are sometimes there was, like, a few halftime performances where there are gonna be some songs that I don't know from performances, and that's okay. So, and it's happened before. There were, like, a few times where, like, I'm watching a halftime performance and it's by an artist I know. It's by an artist I know, but I don't know the song that they're singing. Like, I think that's happened before. Like, I think a good example was when Usher was when Usher was the headliner for 2024, and he was performing with Alicia Keys. Like, since I don't listen to the two, I'm aware of their existence. I just didn't know what song they were performing. And I'm like, okay, they're singing that. I'll just vibe. And, like, you know, I don't listen to those two. That's Mama Pixies. Those are Mama Pixies people. And, like, I know Mama Pixie listens to both of them, so she obviously knew the song. I don't even remember what song it was. It was 2 years ago. And, you know, that's old news. Other than that, my headache honestly went away kind of before just a bit before the halftime performance. Like, for some odd reason that my headache went away just before the halftime performance, and that was like about 20 minutes after my headache. Like 20 minutes after, like, I took some medicine, and normally it takes about a few hours for it to, like, take effect. But, you know, at least it went away quickly. And then after the performance, my cousins did stay down because of, I think 2 commercials later, after the performance was a commercial with that had IShowSpeed in it. And, you know, since they watch IShowSpeed, they care, and they wanted to see it. I think it was like it was a commercial about the Meta VR. Maybe he was in it though. Because I remember in the commercial, Speed was like, "Hey Meta, put this on Instagram!" Like, he said something like that. And then we went back upstairs. And then I watched the rest of the game in my room. But since I had energy, I was finally on my computer again for the first time that day, because I did not use my computer until after the halftime performance. Like, normally I'm using my computer like all the time, like all the damn time, but if I'm like sick and I'm in bed, I normally have my iPad just right there on my bed, but I don't really use it all the time. Like, I just have it in the side if I'm ever gonna like use it, if like my energy is like starting to like get better, and I'll just use the iPad rather than using my laptop, since it's smaller and it's easier to like handle and use. But when I took a nap already before the Super Bowl, I already had the iPad like next to me in my bed, but I didn't turn it on till when the Super Bowl started. So like I just had it in the side. So like all I did, I was just looking through my phone rather than just looking at my iPad, because I knew I was gonna rest it. So in this case, since after the halftime was over and I had the energy again, I went back to my desk and I opened my laptop for the first time that day and watched the rest of the game. Seahawks won. Everyone else I know, well, practically literally everyone else I know was rooting for the Seahawks. So we were all happy. And then like after that, all we could just talk about was, well, if anything, the performance, but also just the fact that the Seahawks won. So then yesterday, I was talking with my cousin who lives in Massachusetts. I was talking to him about the game. And I'm like, okay, so the Patriots. Can we talk about the Patriots over here? And I was laughing at his face just because they lost. I was just trying to tease him. And he's like, yeah, it's because Drake May is like allergic to throwing the ball. So he kind of accepted it, which would make sense, especially since the Patriots didn't even earn a single point till after the halftime. Like literally in the third quarter is when they started gaining points. Not even the field goals were helping them, man. But yeah, he kind of agreed too. Like he honestly accepted the fate with it. And then like also the one thing we gotta talk about, the fucking streaker, streaker that like just ran through the field. So earlier we finally found like a POV footage of the streaker. So like the streaker actually had a POV cam of them running, and Kevin and I were watching it earlier today, and in the POV footage we noticed one of the Patriots players was trying to also stop the guy, while the coaches and the other people are also trying to stop the guy. And then Kevin and I made this joke saying like, wait a minute, what if the guy in the Patriots who was trying to stop the guy, what if he was like trying to like quickly recruit him just to join their team right like last minute, that way they can actually have a better chance of winning, just because they're winning, just because like the game is not even going in their favor for them, so they're like they wanted to try to recruit the streaker. It was a funny joke because bro was actually running so fast that the Patriots could actually have him in their team. So we were like, what if that guy was trying to recruit him last minute? That's why he tried to stop him, because they needed it so bad. And then right before I went to bed, the only thing I was on Twitter, and the only thing I saw on Twitter were memes about how the Patriots were playing. Like for example, one of them was like, it's a flaming horse. You have the flaming horse. That's basically the Patriots. And then in the end of the art, in the end of the photo, it's just like basic line art of the horse. It's basically like the horse if they were naked, but like that they're saying that's how the Patriots are playing. Like, no offense to any Patriots ventures, like any ventures who are Patriots fans, but that's all. I'm just talking about what I saw online, and when I was talking about like making fun of my cousin about the Patriots, It's because I like to tease him. He is from Massachusetts, so obviously he was rooting for the Patriots, but I just typically like to tease him, and he knows that. That's why when he responded to me about it, he didn't take it in a mean way. He was just stating out like the honest facts from what he saw. So but yeah, that was Sunday. And then basically I ended my Sunday night by studying for my midterm with Kevin. That's how we did it, and like that's how we ended our Sunday. And then we had our midterm test, which was yesterday. We were not sure about our grades yet. We have yet to receive them, and that was yesterday basically. And that was my final midterm, and I finished the midterm. So like I'm officially done with midterms for this quarter. And now today's offline venture, well, just one simple one, but I did say a few weeks ago that I did apply for a new job recently. So today I actually got the interview. I went through the interview today for the job. So I'm not too sure of like what's going on now with it, but I'm supposed to get it get an email from them, like email back from them within the next week. But because like everyone in my house is thinking like, oh hey, congrats, you got the job, and I'm like, no, technically I did not get the job. After the interview, there's one more step to do before you even get the job. Like I gotta do, if I pass the interview, there's like one more step I gotta do before there's like one more step I gotta do to even get the job. So I gotta do one more step. If I pass this interview, they'll invite me to the next step, which is happening sometime next week. And if I pass this one, I get the job. So in reality, I had to do one more thing, one basic thing, just to pass the application, like just to get the job. I already submitted my application. They liked it. They asked me. Then that's why they asked me to interview me. I said yes. I had the interview today, and now they gotta review it based on what they took notes of. If I pass it, then I'm supposed to get an email from them next week, inviting me to the last round of the whole application. And if I pass this one, I get the job. And I will warn you, Ventures. This job actually will impact the way I stream this coming fall. Well, not just fall, but for like the rest of the school year, because this is an on-campus job, mind you. So if I get the job, there is a very, very, very high chance that I will not be able to stream again till November, like from August to November. Like I might have to take a 3-month hiatus from streaming, depending on how things go. If I manage to like work things out, if I manage to pull something through, then it's a possibility that the hiatus will last a little bit less. Like it might be just 2 or 3 weeks. But from the way I'm seeing it, it's as of right now, I'm not too sure yet because I haven't gotten the job yet, so I can't be too sure on how possible it will be. But from what I'm seeing it could be highly impossible, to the point that I might not be able to stream for a solid 3 good months now. And it's not really just because of school, but it's really just because of the job. So if I get the job, I have to like take a good maybe 3 months off of streaming. So, but that's fine. I took 2 months off before, so I think I can survive 3. But don't worry, that doesn't mean I won't be able to stop making videos. I can technically still make them, just no streams, because I can record and make those videos any time of the day. But streaming is gonna be a bit of an issue, but that's fine. I mean, I did release a video like throughout this little 2-week hiatus, so it's possible. But yeah, midterms are over, Super Bowl season's over. I went through my job interview. I think that's all I really could think about. Well, yeah, I think those are the offline ventures I did. And then I have another one I'm going through this Saturday. Well, we're still like officially like in the talks about it, but already this Saturday, Kevin and I are doing like a Valentine's Day set collab. We're still trying to get things set up for that one, but what was I gonna say? Well, yeah, just that. But he and I are also trying to like set plans to actually see each other on Valentine's Day. Like we're figuring out like we're still like in the process of figuring out like what are he and I gonna do for our offline venture for Valentine's Day before we have the official Valentine's Day collab. We're still working on the Valentine's Day collab. We kind of have 4 days to even work on it, but we should be fine. We're just trying to focus on school because we still have a few things to deal with through school. And that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I needed to talk about. So yeah, I'm done. I wanted to stream for about another 20 minutes, but it's fine. One, I am kind of tired given what I had to go through today, the job interview and school and such. So I could end it early. Also because I'm in a way kind of tired. Alright. Yeah, okay, yeah, we're done. So, yeah, thanks for those who were able to stick in and for waiting for me for the past 2 weeks as I had to deal with school. We're gonna have just one more stream this week, and that's gonna be the official Valentine's Day collab with Kevin. We're gonna talk about more on how that will work later on, but that stream will be this Saturday on Valentine's Day at 9 p.m. CST. All our collabs are at 9 p.m. because that's like the best time we can actually do collabs for each other. We tried to do 6 one time. I remember in December we had a collab stream set for 6, but we had to push it to another day at 9 because my dumbass forgot that he had a personal offline venture to take that same day. Even if he had free time, we could have done 6, but I completely forgot that he had an offline venture to do that day, so we literally had to postpone it. And I'm like, crap, I forgot. That's fine. Don't worry. We could just switch it to 9. No hard feelings. But yeah, the collab stream is gonna be at 9, which is valid because he and I are already going to be seeing each other that day, and I might not even get home till like 6:30 maybe. So yeah, that's kind of it. That's kind of it for me. I think I can get a raid ready. Yeah, I can get a raid ready right now. Also because I'm kinda tired. I'm tired, Vix. Okay, Twitch, why aren't you working with me? Twitch, why aren't you working with me? Bro, what is wrong with them? Okay, there. It works now. We can raid Zion Fox. She's playing Timberborn. Yeah, we'll raid Zion Fox. I think she's still streaming. Yeah, she's still streaming right now. She's playing Timberborn. If you don't know Zion, she is a Fox VTuber. She is a potato snacky connoisseur, and I love her for that because I do love potato snackies in most cases. And she is a talent and like co-founder of a new VTuber group known as Starbite. It's Project Starbite, which is a small VTuber group. They're really cool. I'm friends with like half of those people, so they're cool. I love Starbite. I love Zion Fox. She and I are actually good friends. We can raid onto her right now. What do you mean I'm already raiding Zion Fox? What are you talking about? I already started, bro. I started the raid and I said you're already raiding her. Like, I didn't raid her before, bro. Okay. Well. Okay, just for final announcements. So just to be sure, just to be clear, Ventures. Yes, I'm back. I'm officially back, but to test the waters with gaming and because I'm out of ideas of what to do for gaming streams, I only have one more stream this week, and it's not even going to be a gaming stream. It's going to be the official Valentine's Day stream, which is going to be with Kevin this Saturday at 9 p.m. CST. So this Saturday on Valentine's Day at 9 p.m. CST, Kevin and I are going to be having an official Valentine's Day collab. It's going to be kind of late because he and I are already going to be doing something on Valentine's Day, like offline. So we're going to spend the first half of the day offline and then the second half of the day online celebrating us. So for now, till then, let's rate on